How often should I train a muscle? I bet you have asked the same question to yourself or to others a lot of times. Training frequency is still a very big and confusing mystery for a lot of people. Should you train your muscles once a week or twice a week? Or should you just do full body workouts, hence training them 3 to 5 times a week or even more? Well, if you just want a quick answer to the question of how frequently should you train a muscle, the answer is that it depends.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Training frequency is dependent on a lot of variables. You have your total weekly volume, exercise selection, muscle damage, sleep, effort, intensity, etc. But all of these variables integrate and entangle into one big variable, which is your recovery. So, your training frequency will be dependent on your recovery. You can train a muscle once a week or even 5 times a week as long as your joints, your mind, and of course the muscle itself feels fresh and recovered. All that being said, there is definitely a point where you can go too high or too low on frequency. Although this point varies vastly from person to person or even between different muscle groups in the same person, understanding this will help you find your suitable frequency range. Let's start with too much frequency. Well, according to me, this can be caused by three scenarios. Scenario 1 of having too much frequency is that your muscles are not getting the time to recover before your workouts. For example, let's say you want to train your hamstrings 3 times a week, and on one day you are doing a heavy stress based movement like the Romanian deadlift, which causes a lot of muscle damage and takes at least 2 to 3 days to recover properly. So that means in order to maintain that 3 times a week frequency, you will have to train your hamstrings at least once a week while being sore, which isn't ideal. Scenario 2 is when your muscles have recovered properly but your joints and other supportive tissue structures aren't recovered yet. Let's say you're training for strength to increase your bench press and now you're benching 4 times a week. All low volume but very high on intensity. So in this example, your muscles won't get sore because of the low volume, but by the fourth workout, you may feel like your elbows are hurting a little bit, and that's because your tendons and other skeletal structures aren't getting the time to recover properly. Third scenario is when you are psychologically or systematically not recovered. Let's say you are squatting or training legs twice a week and your muscles, joints, and everything else are recovering pretty well. But adding another squat day might be too much of a psychological burden for you, or your CNS fatigue might go so high that you are not able to express your strength optimally. Now, tackling the too low frequency is kinda simple. If your muscles, joints, and overall CNS feels recovered, you can train. Now, the frequency required will vary vastly among muscle groups. For example, my hamstrings take a lot of time to recover, so they grow optimally if I train them around twice a week. But on the contrary, my side and rear delts recover very quickly, so training them twice a week will be too low of a frequency for them. For some people, some muscle groups might take a lot of time to recover, like 4 to 5 days, and for those people, a once a week bro split is kinda in the optimal zone. But majority of the people will see better results if they train a muscle at least twice a week, because otherwise they will just sit around and waste 4 to 5 additional days by not training a fully recovered muscle. Another big benefit of training more than once a week is that you will be able to split and manage your training volume. Breaking down 15 sets of chest work into 2 or 3 workouts will be way more manageable and productive than doing 15 sets of chest in a single day, because in a single day after performing like 7 or 8 sets or even less for a single muscle group, your muscles will be so fatigued that you will not be able to generate enough force. The extra sets will just cause additional muscle damage and will probably do more harm than good. This is what people call junk volume. Now, frequency and volume tolerance are both variables. That means they vary from person to person. So you need to experiment with your training a little bit to find your own optimal or suitable frequency and volume tolerance. So that was training frequency 101. If you agree or disagree with anything in this video, please let me know in the comment section. And if you liked this video, you can also try checking out this video where I talk about an exercise which might help you get stronger.